Hello, everyone. I am Jude Hotep, the goddess astrologer and soul coach. We're going to do the daily astro weather, the sacred feminine daily astro weather. I apologize in advance for the sound. I'm in a coffee shop, so the sound probably really sucks. But so this video really may not be listenable to. But I'm just going to go for it because it's 90 degrees outside. I don't know what city I'm going to be in every night. So such is the life of a traveler, long-term traveler here. Super fun times. Normally I can get a quiet video going, but thanks for bearing with me. I'm gonna do this anyways. I'm gonna pull a couple cards in advance. So the energy might be really uncomfortable. It might be really spicy. This is important to really go within. We got Swan Spirit, which is really talking about going deep within and connecting to spirit, and really all the noise, all the distractions, there's so many, and there's so many in our own life that are really trying to take us off of what's the most important thing, and being like an arrow focus. Aries lights the match and focuses and takes action, but Saturn is actually there not to stop us from taking action, but to help us stay on course with the things that are the most important right now, and to not be doing everything, because there's all of this distraction energy right now. And in your own life, things that seem important, bills and alarms and cars and phones and all kinds of stuff, like having so many things going on with my computer, but I'm learning a lot of things, need to check beforehand. AirPods aren't working, phone's not working, all kinds of things. So it's one of those things where there's distraction energy within your own sphere, which might seem like it's really important and needs attendance. And it might, at a time that works for you, not taking you away, taking you off course, because all those things pull your energy, then you don't have energy later. So this is a time to really watch your energy and how it's flowing, because your energy can just be sapped like that with all of this Pisces energy. And then this month is an interesting month because we have kind of this this back and forth energy, this kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? We have this energy that's kind of crunchy. It's not wanting to just be smooth and flow, but you have to find your own flow. And so what it's asking you is to recenter into your own flow. And so it's actually a beautiful, like training space to remember how to center back into your own flow. So I'll pull a couple more cards and we'll get into the chart. Koala Spirit, that there is a plan, that you are on mission, and there's a plan, and spirit has your back, and your soul has a plan and has a trajectory. So just listen to those signs, listen to your channel and your guidance to take care of you when you need to take care of you, and use the amount of energy you have each day to really stay on mission and stay focused on the most important tasks, and put everything else in their place, because all the errands and all of that stuff, you always have energy for that. You could do that while you're sleepwalking. It's the mission where you really need that beautiful joy energy, being in alignment and being able to have your creative channel really flowing. So let's get into the chart for so with this energy, we have the sun that has passed over Mercury, gotten messages. We have the moon that's moved into Taurus, and with this Taurus energy, with the sun like directly at 13 degrees now, the moons and this Taurus energy, which is this vibe of really wanting to feel safe and comfortable and secure, and have like the yummy food, and possibly to curl up and relax and to find all of the comfort zones, but do that in a way that feeds your soul mission and feeds your path. Mars and Saturn here conjunct like this. You could say that Saturn's restricting Mars' action, but that's not true. Saturn's just streamlining and really saying, this is where we need to focus. We need to focus on what's important. Saturn's seen as a malefic, but she really isn't a malefic in the way of, she gets rid of things that doesn't serve you, but it's very painful because we have so many attachments to it, and we have to go through the lessons and the learning for our ego. The dark night of the soul is really a dark night of the personality. It's a dark night of the ego. And so Saturn's really just saying, like, what's the most important thing to focus on? And And Pluto has been disrupting structures that aren't of the highest octave. So that's structures in your own life too. And with Uranus and Taurus, it's really disabusing us of these ideas, these attachments to what security means to us. We base security on finances, on houses, on physical things, on circumstances, on people, on everything outside of us. But really the security comes from inside, and it comes from being in your center and knowing how to do that. And we get so much from support from spirit to learn that. Often it's painful to go through it, but really for the last 6 months, you have really been clearing out this pathway of not being able to like stay on mission in an organic way, to now be in a really organic place with being on mission, like being in your spiritual entrepreneurship, your spiritual entrepreneurship, and your divine feminine mission, bringing your divine feminine light, really understanding, like now everything we've been through, like you understand what that is. The other things you don't understand, you don't need those puzzle pieces right now. So you don't have to be concerned about it. You don't need those puzzle pieces right now. Whenever you don't have those pieces in place, you don't need them at the moment. There's steps to be taken right now, right here, which sometimes is recentering and sometimes self-nourishment. And so all this last 6 months, all this last year, we've been shedding all the things that make it hard to, is in that old like work hard paradigm of being on point and being pointed like an arrow on the things we want to get done, the projects we have to complete and so forth. And so now it's like really organic. And with Juno here, it's really this about, connections and how we want to partner with life, how we want to partner with other people. And that partnering is so important because there's the old paradigm that it's dog eat dog, that you can live this life without people, that it's all about you getting your own house, getting your own stuff. And it's not that there's still not the individual journey. It's that we kind of forgot about other people. We kind of forgot about community, and all of that was always like by the overculture very much diminished and interfered with, and lessened the vibrancy of communities and all the ways that people came together. And so now we're innovating how we come together in community, and this new place of the Aquarius, world that we're moving into, where we are building like sideways over and from the bottom up rather than the top down. And it's not somebody ruling over other people. It's that we partner with people to lead people. It's that we are guides to people that are coming behind us or beside us, so that they can be guides to the people behind them, not in a hierarchy, but simply when your timeline happens to go, like giving people the dignity of their own timeline. And so with this Chiron energy, it's very much with Mercury here, then conjunct, it's this energy of our identity and what we thought it was based on what we were sold by the overculture, based on how we grew up, based on our familial situations. That's all the stuff we've been really healing since late 2018, is all of this idea about our identity and how it should look. And whenever we're holding on or trying to do things like the overculture, trying to do things those old ways, then we get a smackdown, and it can be really painful. It can be challenging to our ego. All this Pisces energy, like Jupiter is one of the biggest planets in the sky. Neptune's one of the biggest planets in the sky. We can't see Neptune. Jupiter is in Saturn's sphere, but Neptune is outside of it. So you have Neptune talking to spirit in this Pisces energy in its home sign, and really saying that this is the dream. This is the spiritual mission. This is this bigger thing that we're collectively doing together, that we came together for this time. We chose to come in at this time. We came in for very specific individual mission that connects to the larger mission of all of us, that as a people, we're changing over from a heart-centric people and from a head-centric people rather into a heart-centric people. We are moving into a love-based culture instead of everything being motivated by fear. We are moving out of patriarchy and into partnership model where there's equality between men and women, true equality, and the sacred feminine and sacred masculine can come together. And this is this important work that we came in for. And so Neptune's talking to spirit, and Jupiter's inside closer to all of our personal planets, talking to, keeping the spiritual connection close to the overculture world, to the 3D world. And Neptune's got the connection to spirit and source direct. And so they're together conjunct here. And then Neptune is connected to the nodes. They've moved from 23 into 22 now. I have lots of squares in my chart right now. I have Saturn and Mars squaring my Venus and Pluto, which is really fun. But it's actually really interesting energy. So, Saturn is squaring the nodes. And so it's like this Scorpio energy. I'm just going to keep talking about the Scorpio energy, that we want to move away from psychologizing anything and being in our heads at all. This Aquarius energy can make you cerebral. We don't need to think about it. We know our mission. We know all the healing we've been doing the last 2 years, been waking up and shedding the shadow. There's so much information. You're so supported. You're so guided. You have information on demand. All you need to know is your next step. You don't need to know 10 steps, and you're never going to know it. And when you do that, you drive yourself crazy. Here's what happens is you want to do something. You get this fear that's unnameable, that you don't even call by the name fear. You don't recognize it as fear yet. And so it's just this resistance kind of, which is fear. It's just this mild resistance. So then you don't do that. Let's say it's like paying the phone bill or something. So you don't do that. And then all of a sudden, since you didn't take that action on what you were there to do, what came up within you is like, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. Now it goes into this other place where the mind gets confused, because the mind just wants to follow the heart. The heart and your intuition knew time to take care of the phone. And then the next step would make itself clear. The next thing would make itself clear. And you've probably gone over the list anyways. And so if you would have just followed that, the anxiety wouldn't be there. The monster wouldn't come about. But because you kind of resist it, avoid it, don't take the action immediately, now the mind starts spinning because it's confused about, well, we have all these things to do. Well, when do I do them? I put this in this order or this in this order. And it gets really outrageous in your mind and causes so much nervous system issues of anxiety and all of this Uranus energy. Like Vesta is the hearth, right? That's what Vesta is here. But she's an Aquarius. She's goddess Hestia. And she's the heart. And so she's saying, connect in to your altar inside, connect in to your physical altars as well, whether you have an altar in your car, altars on the go as you're walking. Like, what is that for you? Is it a mantra? How do you connect in every moment that you might need to? But then Mars and Saturn and Venus, all in this Aquarius energy, it's very Uranus, it's very electric and buzzy. And so we can be pulled into this overthinking and just realize that means you didn't listen to your intuition, that first step. Go back and take that first step that you're afraid to take and just go ahead and do that. And when you realize that that's the only thing you need to concentrate on right now in the moment, it'll relieve so much anxiety and worry and stuff going on inside your body, your emotional body. That'll release, and you just focus on that one thing, take care of it. The next thing will be clear, the next thing will be clear, and things will go back towards your flow, go back towards being in that flow uprising. So really powerful. On Sunday, Venus is moving into the higher degrees of Aquarius, and the moon is now at 13 degrees. In Taurus, all this beautiful Taurus energy that is helping you to ground, to find stability in your emotions. So Taurus moon, it's stability in your emotions. It's really a steadfastness, a steadiness, a warmth, a peacefulness. If you look into a cow's eyes, they're very sentient. They're just peaceful. They're calm. They're chilling. They're not worried about things. And so it's like not letting the Aries mind activate this Aquarius energy, but really listening to your intuition, the intuitive mind, being connected to your intuitive mind. And the sun's moved past Chiron, and so there was all of the healing. Chiron is healing, but it's also the pains of what we're too attached to that's not allowing us to heal. be attached to all of the identity issues, all of the ways we think that we were supposed to be or that we have to be accepted, loved, and belong. So it's something to really consider powerfully. And with all this energy only on one side of the nodes, it's like we can almost forget about the Leo energy in the heart. We can almost forget about the mothering divine feminine energy and be too much in this warrior mode. The high Aries is a spiritual warrior. Low Aries is getting the blade out. You know, we only need to respond. Instinctual nature teaches that we respond to challenges as they occur. We don't need to be on guard in advance. And so we have to remember this Virgo energy of the high Virgo, of really being able to be orderly and attend to the details as is needed on one individual task, and then that Taurus North Node, that Taurus moon, and build one step and then another step and then another step. You know, anybody with a Taurus North Node is going to really not have had the experience at a soul level yet of building, where it's just one step and then another and then another and then another, and you just take one step and quit looking at the bigger vision. Like, set that target down and just shoot an arrow and then shoot another arrow and have fun with it. Have a great, amazing time with it. I'm gonna pull a couple more cards and I'll be done with this weekend episode here. I'm like playing with all these names. I haven't like had a name that really was just like sparks, and that's what it was. So what wants to come through? I wonder if this noise is as bad as I think. I'm pretty sure it is. I've listened to some of them and I've done it and I'm like, okay, gotta stop doing that. Badger spirit, but in reverse. It's just about this bold energy, which is Aries, and this fearless energy. And Aries is like just this believer and believes in magic and has this almost naive belief in the good and just will always get back up. It feels vulnerable inside. They'll never tell you that, but it doesn't stop that vulnerable feeling. It's just an emotion, it's just a feeling in your body. You can feel that. It doesn't mean you are vulnerable, and it's not weakness, and it's not the same as there being a problem. It's just a resonance. And so you can feel that and take action, and it's exciting, and you can turn it into excitement of what you accomplish, just one little thing at a time, and then another, and then another. And remember, like, do that thing your intuition says, because when you don't, that's where the mind goes crazy on you. So fearless and bold, but it was in protection. So it's like, what's stopping you from being fearless and bold? Like, check in with what that is, because when you know what that is, now you know what to address, what to face, because facing our fears is how we clear them. It's how we move towards them. One of the things I always do in my life, if I ever have a fear, I face it immediately. Sometimes it's about, do you recognize that it is a fear? Because fear hides out in resistance. It hides out in anxiety. It hides out in doubt and other emotions. So we have to recognize that all of that is a version of fear. So often we don't call fear by its name. So sometimes we don't recognize it. We got to do that immediately. Face that, whatever that is, that pile of papers, or starting on that project, whatever it was your intuition said to do. We have butterfly spirit, which is all about this transformation that we're going through. So remember that this month we have a ton of semi-squares. We have a couple of exact, we have a ton of semi-sextiles rather, and we have a couple of exact semi-squares. And so it can be this energy of challenge, of not necessarily a natural flow. And so this is training ground for spiritual warriors to regain the ability to recenter back into your own channel, into your own flow, and not rely on the flow being provided, but your own flow from you to spirit, spirit to you, and so forth, and bringing your light. So amazing card of renewal. And it's a lot of it's renewal of our perceptions, because it's our perceptions that take us down. When we can't release the way we think, or we're only going to be okay if this, we really stop possibilities. We stop magic from coming in, because we're not willing to go to that other part of town where that's where we end up running into a client, or that's where we end up running into a new friend, or meeting this person, or finding this product we've been trying to get everywhere that's been out of stock, and it's there on this other side of town that we've been not willing to go to. So really powerful. One more card and then I'm going to get off here. So parrot spirit is to really be mindful of your thoughts and what you're speaking out, really use that to see what's going on in your mind and manage your brain. Realize that managing your mind is the skill set that we need to understand. We really need to have those tools. We do that in Light Goddess coaching, and it will always be a lifetime thing that we have to do. What we do is we take where the fuck our mind is now and we make it way better. But we will always need to utilize that skill as is needed, because things get kicked up at different times depending on the astrological energy. So powerful weekend. Sending you so much love. The Light Goddess podcast, Sacred Vibe Saturday, is about Goddess Bastet today, the cat goddess and mother of the cats. So it's a really good episode. Check it out on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, all the places. The Sun Sign Horoscope will be up on the Light Goddess podcast on Monday, like always, and episode 6 days a week. I'll see you here for the Monday daily. Talk to you soon.